4, Mansfield Town 0, earlier Stevenage 1, Rotherham 1 was the scoreline in that division. Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1 in the FA Cup semi-final remains the latest at Wembley. Commentary of that is currently on Sports Extra. And during the week as well, we've got Tuesday night, Arsenal Paris Saint-Germain live from the Emirates, and on Thursday we're live in Bilbao. Athletic Bilbao against Manchester United, but we will have news of Spurs and Chelsea too in their semi-finals of European competition. As Tottenham Hotspur, over on that far side to the left, 27 minutes played in the sunshine here at Anfield, have a free kick in front of the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand. And it's Maddison who wraps his foot around it, and Solanke's looping header is tipped over by Alisson. Corner kick to Spurs, 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, for the fact that Liverpool have been very good, they've managed to go ahead after that one difficult moment with Solanke scored. You wouldn't be absolutely shocked if they scored again, Spurs, because they do look quite dangerous when they're going forward, obviously particularly from set pieces. I mean, Alisson had to do and tip that one over the bar. It was probably going over anyway, but he knew it. However, we now have a Spurs corner from exactly the same position which they scored already.
And it's on this near side, the right, attacking the top end, playing in their change outfit. So sky blue or a hint of lilac, hard to tell from our position so far away here in our commentary position at Anfield, right at the halfway line. But Maddison is going to take it nevertheless on the right-hand side, and the left arm goes aloft. Tell makes himself available, he's not utilised. In it goes to that area. Canate this time stood firm, headed it away. Danso was trying to get on the end of it. Ball is hit by Spence, but goes behind Maddison. Will he keep the ball in play? Yes, he will. Down by the corner flag, and then Alexander-Arnold wanders across to the left-back area and puts it out of play for a Tottenham throw.
Trent looks a wee bit uncomfortable there in that left-back position. Ball went over his head, but he didn't panic, kept it calm, and made sure Maddison couldn't get the cross in.
Indeed, it's light blue. Just had that confirmed as Spence sends over the cross from the right, headed forward by Davies, bounces off the chest of Gravenberch. Szoboszlai, his ball took a deflection, allowed Alexander-Arnold to volley it away downfield. Spurs tied it back up towards Vicario, chips the ball out, read though by Gakpo, his header in field, Bergvall can't get there, Diaz was too quick for him, infield to Szoboszlai, caught by Maddison. And Maddison gives away a free kick. Szoboszlai stays down. Let's get an update from Wembley. John Southall.
Forest 0, Man City 1. Chance for City. Nico O'Reilly did brilliantly, 30 yards out, evaded 2-3 challenges. His 25-yarder wide of the right-hand post. Forest 0, City 1.
Commentary on Sports Extra.
Maddison's furious about that free kick being given against him. Again, it's about 32, 33 yards out. And he feels as if he get the ball. We've seen it in slow motion there again. He did get a little bit of the ball, but the referee says we've come in for the back, got a bit of the player. He's given a free kick, and he's within his rights to do that.
Well, it is fractionally left of centre. It's 30 yards out, and it's in that area of the field where half of Anfield is in the shadows of the main stand. The other half is bathing in sunshine, and it's just in that little bit of the shadow where you've got Alexander-Arnold, Szoboszlai and McAllister as a trio deep in discussion. McAllister now walks away and informs part of a two-man wall in front of the three-man Spurs wall. It's teed up to Alexander-Arnold, who rifles it right-footed over the crossbar. Goal kick, Liverpool lead 2-1.
Well, the thing I was going to underline about that as well, get it on target. It is straight into the goalkeeper's eyes with the sun right there. You know, just get it on target. Ask that question. Keepers hate it when you do that ball on target. It doesn't need to be that fast there at about eye line, but it was smashed over the top.
Solanke might have had a little nudge in the back by Van Dijk, and the referee didn't seem that was unfair. He lets play continue. Ball played forward by Gravenberch, gets it back. I mentioned our European coverage on 5 Live during the week. This today actually is a run of 3 successive matches for Liverpool against opponents who are in European semi-finals. They travel to Chelsea away next Sunday, and then they're at home to Arsenal on the 11th of May. McAllister, Bergvall closes him down with the help of Van Dijk. They see it back to Alisson. 14 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool 2-1 up.
It's lovely. We're in a really high position here. We're able to see the systems that Liverpool play. And yeah, they've got a centre forward up there, there's Luis Diaz, but they've got so many of those who come from deep. We'll finish that in a minute.
Salah chases after it and just got away from him. Oh, he gets a corner.
Slightly surprised by that. I was just saying that if you're a centre-back and you're from Spurs, you're thinking, right, who's my man I'm marking? Well, 1 minute you actually think, oh, it's obviously Diaz. Then Szoboszlai will be the centre-forward. And then it's Gravenberch. And it's honestly, you have no idea at any point in time during a build-up and play who that man will be. They rotate it so well, those positions from the midfield forward. It's horrendous. You just have to take your eye off that any one of those players for 1 minute, and everybody in that midfield could thread a ball through to them. They are a delight to watch tactically.
They've just been blinded by someone in that corner where McAllister waits to take the corner kick. Has got two inflatable balloons in the number 20, and because they're silver, they're glinting off the sunshine. As McAllister got a standing ovation, readiness to take that corner kick over on that far side. Liverpool lead by 2-1. As still those balloons are being lifted in the air. We have beach balls being banded around ahead of kick-off. Red and white balloons. Certainly that fella who had the replica Premier League trophy, if Steve Crossman said he was charging £10 a photo, when I walked past him he was charging a £5. He must have made a real mint today.
You've seen him coming.
McAllister still waits to take it. The referee...
It's weird, the ball keeps rolling off. You know, I don't think it was that... We're quite high up, so it doesn't look that windy down there, and it shouldn't be with this huge stadium, but the ball keeps rolling off the spot.
He waits, and it'll be the third time of asking, and in it comes now from that right-hand side. Bergwall's header might fall here to Gakpo. Gakpo gets the shot away, and Gakpo tucks it in. There's no stopping Liverpool now. Cody Gakpo, his last goal was against Spurs. It's his first in 10, and it's against Tottenham Hotspur. And Liverpool now lead by 3-1. And they are on course for the Premier League title.
You know, twinkle toes, he gets the ball down there. He really ought not to get shot away there. If you're defending well there, you should actually be able to close him down. But he's got such quick feet there. He knows what he wants to do all the way through that move. So when it gets to him, he just goes to his right, away from the goal, knowing that he wants to switch it back to that far corner. And he does it brilliantly. But if you're Ange Postecoglou, if you're a Spurs fan or a Spurs defender, you're thinking, somebody's got to make a tackle there. And he just dances through two challenges and just pings it into the corner. 3-1. And I think Liverpool fans can relax a wee bit now.
I know who you were referring to earlier when you spoke about the gentleman who was a little bit apprehensive, should we say. I know him well. I would imagine that
he's relaxed.
He can relax.
Yeah. He was worried about it. And that's just a man with experience. But you take nothing for granted. It's a good way to be. Take nothing for granted in football. But these fans here have now basically officially started the party.
And Cody Gakpo took the shirt off with his goal celebrations and was booked as a result. So Cody Gakpo shown a yellow card. I don't think that he will mind too much about that. Bergwall with a cross, stopped by Virgil van Dijk. Tottenham took the lead. Liverpool, though, have responded with 3 goals, and we still have 10 minutes to go to half-time. And they're full of running as Salah, he'll want to get on the score sheet. They lose the ball. Tell looks towards Maddison, stopped by Konate. And then Konate linking up with Luis Diaz. He looks over his shoulder, shrugs off the challenge of Tell, and finds Alexander-Arnold ahead of him on that right-hand side. And then Konate filling in as a right-back, gets it back from Salah. They're in full control.
They are, and you know, I was talking at the start of the game about the improvements you're getting for the likes of Gakpo becoming better and better, Szoboszlai growing into it, all the rest of them. Has there any player improved more in terms of quality than Konate? He has become a stalwart, but much more comfortable in the ball, reading the game generally much better. Hey, every defender will make mistakes, but every time he's on the ball now, he gets such a reaction from this crowd here. Much loved.
Full time in the Super League, Matt Newson.
Yeah, Wigan looking ominous. 36-12, they've beaten Hull here. They climb up to second. Bevan French was the star. He had his hand up pretty much on fingertips, pretty much on everything. Hull FC lived with Wigan in the first half, scoring their 12 points. Will Price looking good, but in the end it's Wigan looking back to their best. Hull FC 12, Wigan 36.
When Pat says that the party has started, it seems that every Liverpool supporter inside Anfield is swirling their red and white scarf over their heads as they celebrate. They're leading by 3-1. They're underway in the Women's Champions League semi-final. Lyon against Arsenal. Victoria Polly.
And Arsenal have a 2-1 deficit to overturn from the first leg. They've come back in both of their previous knockout ties this season so far, but Lyon are record 8 times champions of this competition. Daphne Van Domselaar returns from injury in goal for Arsenal, while Chloe Kelly is favoured for Beth Mead. And much talked about Lyon star defender Wendy Renard. He's back in the side, and Arsenal have just taken the lead. They've got it back to 2-2.
So Arsenal have got that goal. That'll make it interesting. Barcelona earlier beat Chelsea's women by 4-1, so they went through 8-2 on aggregate. So we'll keep you in touch with that. This is 5 Live. We're also live on the World Service and BBC Sounds. And Liverpool leading 3-1. This fixture has produced more goals than any other in Liverpool's Premier League history, and we've currently had 204 now that have been scored between Tottenham and Liverpool. When they met just before Christmas, it was 6-3 in North London. We could have a few more yet to add to the tally that we've got already.
You could, I mean, obviously Liverpool are looking great favourites at the moment, but it's, you know, it's 3-1. If Spurs could get a goal back, although they've not had that many opportunities to go up the field, if they could get one back before half-time, but it doesn't look like. Almost broke away against Liverpool.
Required Ben Davies to come across and to curve the run of Diaz, but the referee has brought play back. Referee Thomas Bramall. Liverpool have got a free kick. It's a deafening noise inside Anfield. Robertson on the halfway line, back towards Van Dijk. They're looking to make up for the title that they couldn't celebrate 5 years ago. Not with the team, at least anyway. Difficult times during that COVID period and the social distancing. As Liverpool get it up now towards Gakpo. Robertson's bobbing on with him on the left-hand side as Gakpo now makes a run in field. Uses Robertson's run, Robertson's cross, Salah's header. Here is the boss line. Tease of Alexander-Arnold down into the ground. Davies with a header away. Liverpool are riding on the crest of a wave, and the energy inside Anfield Stadium.
Yeah, that move was sumptuous. It was an absolute joy to watch. I mean, you knew every single pass that was going to be made 2 or 3 seconds before it was made, but it didn't matter. Spurs couldn't do anything about it. That move deserved a goal from the left-hand side out. Ended up a shot on target. No goal, but they are playing some lovely football just now, Liverpool.
So we've got about 5 minutes to go to half-time here on 5 Live. Nottingham Forest, Manchester City was also a 4:30 kickoff. John Southall.
Played 38 minutes here, Ian. Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1. City in total control at the moment. One chance for Forest. The flag was up there. Chris Wood, good chance, wide of the right-hand post. Forest 0, Man City 1.
Well, Arne Slot, when he spoke to the media ahead of this game, he was asked, will you enjoy it? And he said, I'll only enjoy it once the final whistle has sounded. You might remember Jurgen Klopp with that chant of Arne Slot. That is the chant that is currently being sung by the Liverpool supporters inside Anfield. He will be the 3rd Liverpool manager to win the league title in his first full season. As Tell to the edge of the area is held up by Alexander-Arnold. Maddison still with Spurs on that far side. Spur with a cross coming in. He tucked in was Robertson to head it away. Joe Fagan, 84. Sir Kennedy Dalglish, 86. Arne Slot is in extremely good company.
It's a phenomenal thing to do in your first season. I'd love to underline just now, I did not see this coming at the start of the season. And I tell you, a lot of people who say now, you know, oh yeah, they were definitely going to go and push on. Come on, losing Jurgen Klopp, he just didn't feel it could go this well. So that adds to the fact that, you know, the expectation was a wee bit more limited than others had had. And Slot would have been given a little bit more time, wouldn't he have? But he absolutely hasn't made it. He's been brilliant so far.
But I don't think you're alone. I don't think many neutrals would have expected Liverpool to be in this position, not with still 4 games remaining as well. And in fact, I don't know whether you were one of them, but I don't think there was one BBC pundit on the BBC Sport website that predicted that Liverpool would win the title this year.
I'll be honest, I rated Jurgen Klopp and his effect on Liverpool Football Club so highly I just said they've been lucky to get in the top four. It's not an anti-Liverpool. It's just a respect for what Jurgen Klopp had brought to this club. However, I didn't know how good Arne Slot would be, and also the fact it's more than that. There's something else, something bigger, which we'll deal with after the game, which is bringing in the right players over a period of time and them growing into it. And that's when you talk about the Szoboszlais and the McAllisters and Gakpos, etc. They're just getting better and better and better all the time.
Well, if you recall the conversation that he had with Gary Lineker earlier in the season, you can go back and find it on the BBC Sounds app. He was talking a lot about the work that he inherited from Jurgen Klopp and the culture within the training ground that he'd also inherited as Johnson comes forward for Spurs in towards Solanke. Tell arriving. Kanate had to make the challenge. Now, did Kanate get a nibble of Tell, who's gone down? VAR will have a look at it.
Must have a look at that. I mean, if he doesn't get any of the ball there, that's a penalty kick, and it absolutely should be a penalty kick if he doesn't get any of the ball. The referee's slowing it down. He sees an injury on the pitch here, so he's given himself a little bit of breathing space here, the referee, hasn't he? Stopped the game. Injury on the far side there, and there's no acting going on there. That was an injury. But was it Kanate? I think it was Kanate.
Yes,
did he get any of the ball?
He's also down as well, Pat,
yeah.
Kanate.
So it's happy to get any of the ball. And if there was contact, who initiates the contact? Do you know what? It doesn't look great for Kanate. We've got the right angle here. Let's have a look at it. Kanate goes for it, gets a bit of the ball first. I think he's okay. I think he's going. I was going to say gets away with it, but he doesn't get a lot of the ball clean. He catches it with his shin.
Yeah.
That's probably enough.
As the cross comes in from the right-hand side from Johnson, Kanate is attacking it with Tell coming in from behind him. And Kanate goes to ground and is trying to sweep the ball away and probably just get enough before catches Tell.
I would say comfortably normally that's not a penalty kick. But so many times this season where I've thought something's confidently something and the referee's disagreed, but no chance that should be a penalty kick.
Tell is back on his feet. Kanate is hobbling.
Good move though, wasn't it? It was a great move. One of the best moments that Spurs have had in this period. I mean, just before half-time, had they managed to get it back to 3-2, yeah, it would have changed the atmosphere. Well, only a little.
But also, I mean, not only did they take the lead, but Solanke has also had a looping header tipped over by Alisson.
I think Alisson was in control of that. On this occasion, I don't think Liverpool were completely in control of the situation.
Robertson forward for Liverpool. His low cross into the penalty area. Archie Gray couldn't get there, and then coming out with the ball was Udogie to Spence under pressure because of Liverpool pressing, and Robertson almost got there. Now Udogie has actually stayed forward on this near side, the right, and McAllister comes across and stops him in his tracks with a committed sliding challenge out for a throw. Liverpool lead 3-1.
He's having one of them days, isn't he, McAllister? He's absolutely having one of those days. Every tackle has been nailed. He's timed it brilliantly. Scott's an absolute worldie as well. He is flying out there in the middle of that park. He's had a lot of good games this season, but he's right up there for possible man of the match this early on.
Spence to Johnson. On the stretch was Gray. Triangular passing movements from the Tottenham players on this near side, the right, in front of the main stand. And Gray passes the ball back towards Danso, who will come forward. He instructs somebody to go into the midfield ahead of him. In the end, he goes back towards Ben Davies, out towards Maddison. Udogie is gone in field, so he passes the ball towards Tell, who runs forward on that left towards the byline and sends over a cross, and it's stopped there by Alisson as we are into 4 minutes of added on time here at Anfield, where Liverpool fell behind, but they're on course for a record-equaling 20th title as they now lead 3-1.
Yeah, it's just not to forget that the last couple of minutes Spurs have looked a little bit dangerous. They've got down the right-hand side and the left-hand side, got crosses from the byline, so they've not given up in this at all yet. The problem that they've got is, well, a number of problems. One of them is you're 2 goals behind. Number 2 problem, which is a quite big problem. You're playing in the Cup if you're Liverpool in the second half, and they quite enjoy that. So it is the proverbial mountain to climb for Spurs, but they'll try.
And not only that, Pat, but Liverpool have scored more goals in the second half this season than any other side. They've scored 42 of their 75 goals after half-time. Rather ominous statistic, one would suggest, as Gakpo's curling ball is caught by Vicario in the sunshine, and then he rolls it out underarm towards Udogie over on that far side. Earlier in the Premier League, Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 1. Manchester United, like Spurs, will focus on that Europa League semi-final on Thursday night. We'll be live in Bilbao. 48 hours before that, we'll be live in North London for Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain, which should be a mouth-watering contest in the Champions League. But this is the Premier League. We're in first half stoppage time. 3-1 Liverpool.
Just as you were chatting there, McAllister's made a tackle, inverted commas, on Maddison there, and it's one of those ones where he goes in, and if he doesn't get the ball, the player's going to be, well, he's going to feel it. He's going to remember it. It's not cost him a yellow card there, but it's one of those ones that a defensive midfielder loves to put in there, just to put, as they say, a marker on the game.
Well, Maddison stands alone over the free kick. Liverpool have got a line of red on the edge of the penalty area, in front of the cop. Ball goes out to Udogie, plays it back inside to Maddison. Maddison then feeds it to the feet of Udogie, who can run into the penalty area with a cutback. This is Tell, gets the shot away, flick away by Van Dijk to clear it. Bergvall runs forward, left-hand side of the area, rolls down his chest, runs into trouble with Szoboszlai, but he shows his strength. Bergvall chips over the cross, nobody there to meet it. Runs out of play for a goal kick. Liverpool lead 3-1 in stoppage time.
Yeah, but well done Spurs again. Third time in just a few minutes, they've got to the byline, got dangerous crosses in. So they haven't given up, they're not folded. I mean, you said after the third goal, you know, you don't want an absolute hammering of your Spurs with this massive game coming up. But it's not looked like that since then. You know, it's not that Liverpool have taken the foot off the gas. It's the fact that Spurs haven't given up. They've kept on going. Having said that, the 3-1 down, as we were watching there, Daniel Levy was looking pensive, shall we say.
Well, it does look increasingly likely that there will be a parting of the ways come the end of the season with Ange Postecoglou. 2 years that he's had in charge, and yet he could. It was Wanda Ramos who was the last Tottenham manager to win some silverware back in 2008. Ange Postecoglou could yet depart on a high. Indeed, if that does occur in a few weeks' time. The 3-1 down here as Gravenberg almost overruns it, gets away from Tell, but then is stopped by Udogie, passes the ball inside towards Maddison, runs into a cul-de-sac of red shirts, and it's cleared away by Trent Alexander-Arnold. You know, that is one area where Liverpool have made that tweak from Arne Slot. They have tightened up defensively.
In that central defensive midfield area, going on there about McAllister, he was slightly out of position. Gravenberg went and absolutely nailed Maddison again there. He thought he had a little bit of a gap, a little bit of space to run into. Wasn't. Make sure you do the right things all the way to the whistle, and they've done just that.
The half-time whistle sounds, and Liverpool are 45 minutes away for confirmation of the news that we all know is going to happen. They are going to win the title because they fell behind to a Solanke header that gave Spurs the lead after 12 minutes. It lasted all of 4 minutes before Diaz, after a VAR check, had equalised. They then had a goal disallowed. McAllister with a fine effort after 24 minutes, and then Gakpo added a third some 10 minutes later. So half-time at Anfield. Liverpool 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
And let's go straight to Wembley Stadium, where the half-time whistle has gone in the FA Cup semi-final. John Southall.
Where, Steve, it is Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1. A really impressive first half from Man City. They have been so dominant, 76% possession, and that does not lie. But just the one goal inside the first 2 minutes. Rico Lewis giving too much time and space in the D, and he finished into the bottom left-hand corner. Mamouche struck one over the bar from 30 yards, and Nico O'Reilly had a shot wide from a similar distance. Forest yet to have a shot. Big job for their manager Nuno at half-time. Forest 0, Manchester City 1.
Thank you very much, John. We'll be back with John Murray and Clinton Morrison at Wembley before second half commentary here at Anfield. Remember, 5 Sports Extra for Nottingham Forest, Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-final here on 5 Live. Liverpool leading Tottenham Hotspur at half-time in a game, remember, which they only need to draw to secure the title, but they are 3-1 up, having gone 1-0 down. Didn't we just say, Pat Nevin, that it isn't always straightforward, albeit it's starting to look it now?
Yeah, I mean, they got the goal down, and a question's being asked. That question has been asked a lot of Liverpool this season. They've generally had a very good answer to it, which is go and score more goals, and they've done it really well. I mean, on the right-hand side, there was periods of time there, when when he fancied it, Salah looked unstoppable there, and of course it led to the opening goal, which kind of opened the floodgates. But I've been so impressed with the work rate, the closing down. It's one of the strange things to say about football. See, when you see a team are horrible to play against, it's one of the biggest compliments you can give them.
Yeah.
It's a big compliment. And you look at McAllister and you look at Gravenberch and you think, oh, they'd be horrible, because they can play, they know how to hold the ball, they're hard, they work hard, they cover constantly. Those two have been staggeringly impressive today as a duo. It's quite often you buy players. I mean, obviously Szoboszlai is great as well, and Gakpo's helping in there when he needs to. But when you've got two players who seem to know each other and work off each other, and like will understand each other's game as well as not looking after themselves, that shows wisdom and game knowledge and game management. So I'm impressed with lots and lots of things about Liverpool today, but them two, they've been pretty special.
We're on air until 7 o'clock from here inside Anfield. So after the full-time whistle, assuming Liverpool go on and do it, we'll have lots of time to break it all down, to pay tribute to all of the key players and the manager and all of that kind of thing. But just for now, I do want to pick up again on McAllister, because he can be the feather when he needs to be the feather, and he's the anvil when he needs to be the anvil.
There's just not that many players that have got that, the entirety of it. I mean, I have to say Declan Rice can do all the things you need to do, and he's probably got certain things that maybe even McAllister hasn't got, the loping strike going forward, maybe a wee bit more dangerous sometimes going that way. But it's to take nothing away from the fact that there's not that many players. A lot of players are very specialist these days. But you almost think, yeah, I'll play you anywhere, mate, you'll be fine. It's one of the great things over the years that Liverpool have had that, when they've had great sides, they've had certain players. I was downstairs with Ronnie Whelan before, he could do that sort of stuff all the time. You'd have certain players where it doesn't matter where you play, but when you play him in his right position, he is very, very special, and he controls games. And he hurts people soonest back in those days. Well, no, there are a great number of. I want to mention these names because they were that good that it's good to be mentioned in their company. Yeah. McAllister's there. Absolutely, he's there. Not he will be there. He is there now. And today just underlines it. But if anyone deserved a goal, to be the goal that really turned it today, had to be McAllister, and it was a cracker. And just come back to what I said before the game. You want it to be stylish, you want it to be a good game, you want to get a game you win, you want to score goals. And if you, the absolute cherry on the top of it is, and some crackers as well.
Yeah.
And you've got that.
It's one of those things here inside Anfield where one absolutely spectacular goal, plenty of good goals, one brilliant one from McAllister. It's the kind of moment that you just know somewhere, someday, some Liverpool fan is going to write a song about it. On the way into Anfield, I could hear the Liverpool supporters singing Divock Origi's song to the tune of Saturday Night by Wakefield. I can't say the second line of that song, but it was about that amazing night here against Barcelona all those years ago. There's a rainbow which is just appearing amidst the water from the sprinklers as it just cascades down onto the turf here at Anfield. Glorious first half for Liverpool, leading 3-1, only needing a point. Remember, Chelsea have been knocked out of the Women's Champions League today. They were beaten at Stamford Bridge by Barcelona 4-1 to 8-2 on aggregate. The second semi-final is well underway. Arsenal at Lyon. Last we heard, Arsenal had levelled it up on aggregate. Victoria Polly.
They have indeed. It's Lyon 0, Arsenal 1. Arsenal starting how they meaning to go on, scoring in the first 5 minutes. It was a corner that came in, not dealt with by the Lyon defence, and ended up going in of the Lyon keeper, Christian Endler. And it's very much been a tale of the two goalkeepers, because at the other end, Daphne van Damselaar, returning in goal for Arsenal, came to claim a ball, didn't get there, and Lyon almost equalised through captain Wendy Reynard, but she fired over. It's Lyon 0, Arsenal 1. We're over halfway through the first half. It's 2-2 on aggregate.
Oh, we're at some glorious sporting arenas today. Beautiful day inside Anfield. We're at Wembley Stadium, and it doesn't get much better than the Crucible either, the World Snooker Championship. Jamie Broughton's there.
No, fantastic venue, Steve, and Ronnie O'Sullivan is closing in on a place in the quarter-finals. The 7-time champion beats China's Pang Jung-Chu by 12 frames to 4 after the second session of play in their second-round match, with 13 the target for victory. O'Sullivan knocked in breaks of 79, 80, 105, 135 and 62 this afternoon. Meanwhile, Luca Bracel is also close to booking his place in the last 8. The 2023 champion finished 12-4 up against Ding Junhui. Both of those matches will be played to a finish tomorrow night.
Reminder, it finished Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 1 in the Premier League earlier today. Second half commentary from here at Anfield on 5 Live and from Wembley Stadium on 5 Sports Extra for the FA Cup semi-final. Both come after the news with Dan Maudsley.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Canadian Prime Minister has said a suspect who rammed a car into crowds at a street festival in Vancouver yesterday is believed to have acted alone. 9 people were killed and 20 others injured in what Mark Carney described as an horrific attack 2 days before tomorrow's federal election there. Police don't believe it's terrorism related. Mr. Carney said he was heartbroken.
And to them and to the many others who were injured, to the Filipino-Canadian community, and to everyone in the broader Lower Mainland, Vancouver, I would like to offer my deepest condolences and my wishes for strength and compassion in this tragic time. I know that I join all Canadians in mourning with you. I know that Canadians are united with you.
The Green Party has said interim guidance on single-sex spaces should be withdrawn. The advice by the Equalities Watchdog, which follows the Supreme Court ruling, says trans women shouldn't be allowed to use women's facilities. One of the 2 women seriously injured in a crossbow attack in Otley in West Yorkshire yesterday remains in hospital, while the other has been discharged. Counter-terrorism police are investigating after a crossbow and firearm were recovered at the scene. A suspect is in custody. And President Zelensky says Ukrainian troops are continuing to fight in Russia's Kursk region after officials in Moscow said they'd been forced out. Ukraine captured parts of Kursk in a surprise offensive last year. The top American diplomat, Marco Rubio, has told US television that the 2 sides are closer than ever to a ceasefire deal.
The Champions League on BBC Radio 5 Live. It's the final whistle, and Arsenal, in some style, have reached the Champions League semi-finals.
On Tuesday at 8, Arsenal versus PSG.
Kvaratskhelia turns to the penalty area, shoots and scores! Rice, baby! And hear all the analysis and reaction on the Football Daily podcast.
The Champions League. Listen live. Ask your smart speaker
To play BBC Radio 5 Live.
This is 5 Live Sports.
With Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Well, I think we can more or less safely say that Liverpool's Premier League winning party is less than an hour away. How close are we to knowing who's going to be meeting Crystal Palace, though, in the FA Cup final? John Murray.
Well, half-time here at Wembley. It is Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1. Manchester City scored the early goal. Very good finish from Rico Lewis in the D on the edge of the area. Low shot pass Sells into the bottom corner. And that was only in the 2nd minute. And City then proceeded to absolutely dominate the match. Without, I should say, coming close to a second goal. There has only been one attempt on target in the match, the Lewis goal. And Nottingham Forest have offered nothing. They've seen so little of the ball. And when they have had it, they've done nothing with it. So, Clinton Morrison, something's got to change from Forest, from Nuno.
It has to change, and I've been screaming for it, and it looks like he might be coming on Alanga. I just look at Man City's high back line. I'm thinking they don't have enough runners who can go in behind. He's one of the quickest in the Premier League. He needed to change it because you were right. They were powder puff. They didn't get in behind Man City at all. And Man City, as you said, dominated possession without actually working cells that much.
And Forest have been neither nothing nor something, have they?
Yeah, it's been half-hearted, hasn't it? You're like, we're there, but we're not really pressing. We're letting Kovacic and Bernardo Silva, who people says legs have gone, dominate. Go, move up the field 10 yards further up the field and go press Man City and go and cause them problems.
But it couldn't be any more obvious that Alanga is coming on for the second half, because he came out to warm up in his match shirt. He's now taken off his tracksuit bottoms. He is ready. He's got his kit on. It's his 23rd birthday today. and he's ready to go.
Yeah, and he's been brilliant this season. And he gives, you ask any defenders, they don't like playing against pace, and he's one of the quickest around. So, yeah, Forrest are hoping, and the fans and the players, his teammates, hoping he can get a birthday goal because it'll be fitting for him. I think he's had an outstanding season for them.
Yeah, and my goodness, they do need something, Nottingham Forest, because if it continues as it was in the first half, Manchester City will score a second goal, they'll win this semi-final, and it will be Crystal Palace against Manchester City here in 3 weekends' time. However, at half-time, it is Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1, so it's not over yet.
John, Clinton, thank you both very much indeed. Second half commentary on 5 Sports Extra. 6:06 starts at 7 o'clock tonight. 08085 909 693. Premier League winner Chris Sutton. Big part of the team, of course. Afternoon, Chris.
Hello, Steve. Yeah, not easy winning a Premier League, Steve.
No, well, Liverpool have made it look like that, haven't they?
Yeah, no, they have. I mean, yeah, that's the headline of today. It'll be party time. Tottenham will not come back into this game. We can't see it, and they have made it look pretty routine, Steve, haven't they? This season, they've blown everybody away. Arne Slot's first season, and I suppose that the question is, celebrate this season. What's been special about it? But can they carry on under Arne Slot and dominate?
Do you think they can?
Oh, it's difficult because we expect Manchester City to respond. I mean, I'm on with Roman Kemp tonight. I know he likes his Arsenal. He's an Arsenal fan, and everybody thought this would be the season for Arsenal, and they've fallen away. But of course, they've got the Champions League, haven't they? Which will, if they win that, all will be forgiven with the Premier League. But the signing of getting the Salah deal done, Van Dijk deal done, they're in a pretty good place, and Liverpool fans must be absolutely delighted with this season, but also looking forward.
08085 909 693. Cheers, Chris. Have a good one.
Thanks, Steve.
Chris Sutton, Roman Kemp, 6:06, 7 o'clock tonight. We're live from inside Anfield. Ian Dennis and Pat Nevin are here. Liverpool substitutes just warming up beneath us. I have to say, Pat, I've seen quite a lot of Liverpool live lately, and this is the best I can remember them, probably since just before the first leg of the PSG Champions League tie. And I know they won that first leg, but not at their best. I've not seen this Liverpool for quite a while.
Do you know, but every team, I've done recently a lot of fans from a lot of different clubs, and every team will go through a dip. Go through a dip and don't lose many games. That's the trick, you know. You may not be playing that brilliantly. You might lose the odd game or draw the odd game here and there. It just happens. You can't be at it for that amount of games for an entirety of a season. So that's what they've done. But you're right. They are the best. They are the best version of Liverpool right at this second. And I think it's because they know how to do it. They know how to time it. You know, Salah knew when it was time to turn it on. He's turned it on. He knew at the start of this game you needed it back. You're 1-0 down. He's turned it on. You know, the very, very best players have got gears, and they went through a few today so far, haven't they? And now that they've got 3-1 up, they can maybe cruise a wee bit. I just don't think they will.
The Liverpool players have just finished their pre-second half warm-up. Almost looked like they were dancing. They'll be doing that in 45 minutes' time by the looks of it. Anfield is absolutely ready for a Premier League winning party. We'll be on air until 7 o'clock, drinking in every moment with Liverpool supporters. They've still got a job to do, but it's certainly half done. Ian.
Certainly is, thank you, Steve. And I would imagine that Arne Slot, such his focus in the build-up to the game, he hasn't been carried away by any of the emotion. He'll be saying to his players, you keep that laser focus for this second half. Go and finish the job, because you're halfway there as the match restarts. And Tottenham Hotspur have made 2 changes. Havassar replaces Archie Gray in the midfield, and Kulusevski comes on for Maddison. So Spurs have Vicario in goal, a back four of Spence, Davies, Danso and Udogie. Kulusevski, Sarr, Bergvall, Tell, Solanke and Johnson. Liverpool, Spurs incidentally in all their light blue. They're playing from right to left as we look now. So they're defending the Kop end. They're attacking the Anfield Road end. Whereas Liverpool all in red. Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Konate, Robertson, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and then Salah, Diaz and Cody Gakpo. As Danso plays the ball forward towards Kulusevski. He gets it away to Johnson. Flag stays down. Johnson will run forward, and it goes off the legs of Van Dijk, and it's a late flag, so it'll be a free kick, and Liverpool still lead by 3-1. Back to Wembley in that FA Cup semi-final. John Southall.
Forest 0, Man City 1, but what a chance for Forest in the opening minutes of the second half. Hudson-Odoi down the left-hand side, and there was Elanga on as a sub, on his birthday, made the run 8 yards out, and somehow put it wide. Forest 0, Man City 1.
Talking of Forest, Liverpool have dropped 5 points in 2 games against Nottingham Forest. Before today, they'd dropped 15 points in the other 31 games.
It's extraordinary. I mean, some teams are your bogey teams. Losing the game here, wasn't it? Which was extraordinary. But just looking at the changes that Spurs have made at the moment, they've made 2 changes in the midfield. That comes as no shock, considering how well the midfield for Liverpool has been playing with Gravenberch and McAllister we were talking about.
Pat Nevin is with us here on the World Service, as well as 5 Live, and the BBC sounds out, where Liverpool are leading by 3-1. The sun still beating down on at least a third of the pitch here at Anfield, as Konate in the shadows of the main stand towards Salah. Szoboszlai fouled. Mo Salah actually has scored 11 league goals against Tottenham Hotspur. It is the most of any player in this fixture. He will be desperate to get on the score sheet.
It's possibly the most surprising thing of the afternoon so far, that he hasn't had that goal that he usually gets, but we've got plenty of time yet. That's what he'll be thinking.
If he doesn't score today, it'll be 7 without a goal for Mo Salah, which will be almost 3 years of his longest goal drought for Liverpool. Although we mentioned earlier about Liverpool's tendency to score goals in the second half. 20 of his 27 in the Premier League. He is, of course, on course for the Golden Boot, have come in the second half this season. Szoboszlai off the chest. Tries to swivel and volley the ball forward. Udogie heads it away as he runs back to the edge of his penalty area. Solanke up against Gravenberch. Gravenberch too strong for him. Comes forward with the ball. Runs away from Bergvall. Feeds it towards Robertson. Drills it in low. Blocked by Spence, out for a Liverpool throw in front of that Sekeni Dalglish stand on the far side. 3.5 minutes into the second half, 3-1 Liverpool.
And again, it's that duo again. Gravenberch right beside McAllister when Solanke was trying to hold on to the ball. No chance. You ain't getting it, you ain't keeping it. We're going to break. They've been very, very good at kind of getting close, not giving anybody a chance to get on the ball and break and hold it up. They've been brilliant at it.
Konate to Alexander-Arnold. Back with Konate in the centre circle. Van Dijk on the halfway line, passes the ball forward towards McAllister. His diagonal ball goes out far side the left, and Gakpo comes in now off that left touchline, left corner of the area. Gakpo still runs in field. He tees up McAllister. McAllister takes a couple of steps back towards Gakpo, and unselfishly he looked for Salah. He could easily have gone for goal, but they tried to put it on a plate for Salah, and the opportunity went missing.
You know, I called one of the earlier moves sumptuous. I'm going beautiful for that one. It was absolutely lovely. 1-2s. I mean, classic training ground goal, we would call that. I wonder if there was a possibility of offside. No, it wasn't. 1-2, beautifully done. Actually, more than 1-1-2. I'm amazed he didn't go for goal. You're absolutely right. But it would have been the perfect goal had that final pass been made.
And when you hear a commentator or reporter saying they walked it into the net, that was almost it, wasn't it? The way that they just cut open the Spurs defence.
The epitome of it, the absolute epitome of it. And if you're playing against that, okay, so Liverpool didn't score, but it has a horrible feeling because they didn't panic. It was McAllister got the ball in the 18-yard line, and instead of smashing it, he believed they could do that, and they almost did.
Choice of listening this afternoon here on 5 Live. Liverpool leading Spurs by 3-1. As Szoboszlai out towards Salah. Salah runs forward onto his left foot, charged down. And on Sports Extra, it was Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 1, but there's been another goal. John Southall.
Big moment here, Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 2, corner on the left-hand side, and there was Josko. 6 yards out to power the head in. Header in, long way back now for Forest. Forest 0, Manchester City 2.
Crystal Palace await the winners in the final of the FA Cup on May the 17th. Arne Slot's name is being chanted by the Liverpool supporters. when they last won the title in front of supporters some 35 years ago. The attendance was just under 38,000. Anfield has been redeveloped since. We got that two-tiered stand away at the Anfield Road end, away towards our left-hand side. The old Kemlin Road is now the Sekeni Dalglish stand. It's increased considerably here at Anfield, and every single one of them who has been privileged enough to be inside this ground for this special, significant moment in Liverpool's illustrious history is going to enjoy every second in the second half as a low cross comes in and it goes behind for a corner kick. Pat Nevin.
Yep, and it's one of those moments. The psychology of the Kop is now working. You just look at that Spurs team. They're falling further and further back, being dragged back by the history of what the Kop does and what it does to the Liverpool players themselves. They just grow in the second half. They own the pitch. And at the moment, Spurs aren't getting a sniff. They're not getting anywhere near it out of their own half. It's as if there was a 10-foot slope from one side to the other.
Liverpool have only lost one in their last 30 league games against Tottenham Hotspur, and they're in no position to surrender the comfortable position that they find themselves in here this afternoon on BBC Radio 5 Live. As our referee Thomas Bramall just has a wander across into the technical area. I think that's and Luis Diaz, who are getting very tight. The corner on the left is taken short. Szoboszlai then with a cross at the far post. It's headed behind by a backpedaling Kevin Danso. It's another corner kick, but on this near side, the right, in front of those expectant Liverpool supporters, so many of them decked out in red.
One of the great things about Liverpool, it's a very simple corner. It's a short corner there. Just out to a player who's maybe 15 yards out there. But it's the quality of ball you generally get in. And it doesn't really matter who it is. If it's Salah, if it's Robertson, that time it's Szoboszlai. You know what McAllister's going to do. The quality of the crosses in have been superb.
McAllister's name is the latest to be chanted. They're going through the full repertoire, or at least they will do in this second half. Corner kick to Liverpool, McAllister to take it right-footed. It's an outswinger. Konate was up, might fall to Van Dijk. Hooked away by Danso. Looping ball, high, drops. Tell, tussles with Szoboszlai, who squeaks the ball out towards McAllister. Salah wants it. McAllister shoots, takes a deflection, should go out for a corner. Indeed it is. Liverpool piling on the pressure. 3-1.
Well, I'm going to say it because you have to. You should have put in Mo Salah there, shouldn't you have? He's shot there. Salah's on his outside there. He's got nobody with him. Now, Salah will be in an angle there. He's in a better shooting position and he's Mo Salah. It makes a big difference there. Give it to Mo Salah in that position there. You're talking an almost certain goal. So let's be fair about it. I think that's a McAllister mistake.
A fellow Scot in Andy Robertson. We actually discussed this at half-time. Yeah. The luxury of the position that Liverpool find themselves in. Every supporter inside Anfield will just be able to soak up this and enjoy the experience as we wait for the corner to come in from the left. And it comes now from McAllister, and Vicario claims it.
Yeah, every single player will get his chance, but every single song that they can think of will get this opportunity as well. So I think it will be enjoyed, and it gets towards the end of the game, if Liverpool can stay at least 2 goals clear, the crescendo will just build and build and build until the end.
Vicario almost caught in possession inside his 6-yard area. As the ball goes up towards Solanke, comes straight back though. Gravenberch looks for a free kick. Bergvall, was he fouled? The referee will say yes. It'll be a Tottenham Hotspur free kick deep inside their own half. 10 minutes into the second half. Manchester City are leading Nottingham Forest 2-0 on Sports Extra. Earlier Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 1 is how it finished in the Premier League. In the Women's Champions League semi-final second leg, Arsenal lead Lyon by a goal to 0. Spurs have given the ball away cheaply. Here is Salah to Szoboszlai, and then running back was Udogie just to break it up inside the penalty area. And then they'll get... No, kept in play by Diaz on the far side, didn't go out of play. Spurs need to be better in possession than that.
It's getting very Ange ball at the moment. They're still really open when they get the ball. They're trying to play it out from the back. The problem is they're vicious in the midfield. They're winning it back constantly, Liverpool. They're just that little bit sharper, better, quicker, better tacklers, reading the game too well. It is a nightmare to play against just now for your Spurs.
Well, they've never looked like relinquishing the healthy lead that they've had for so many weeks now. Remember, they went top of the Premier League on November the 2nd. So what's that, 177 days since? They are not going to relinquish a 2-goal lead here against Spurs. I'd be very surprised if they did.
I mean, football's wild. Strange things have happened. I've seen it, you know, if Spurs could get a goal, they need to go over the halfway line to get a goal, which they've not done very much, if at all, in this second half so far. But it's so hard to see anyway that that's going to happen by how well Liverpool are playing at the moment.
Virgil van Dijk, who's played the most minutes in the Premier League than any other Liverpool player, 2,970. Alisson, who had that spell on the sidelines through injury in the first half of the season. Robertson goes downfield, cut out there off the chest by Spence. A rare foray into the Liverpool half for Tottenham. But then coming back is Gravenberch. No, it was on that far side. Gakpo. Here is Gravenberch. Now his ball towards Szoboszlai, and Szoboszlai's got room to run into, and he feeds the ball to the feet of Salah, and Salah runs into the penalty area, cuts into his left foot, and Salah's shot takes a deflection, corner kick. 3-1 Liverpool, corner on the right hand side.
You almost don't have to commentate on Salah when he gets down the right wing there, do you? He cuts into the right hand side, he's across that 18-yard line. You know he's trying to get half a yard for the ball. Just before that, the ball was one deep in midfield, and it's Gravenberch. And he threw a dummy in the midfield there. It was almost missed. The two players went flying, and it was just a little snake hit moment there, and it opened up the entirety of the play. It's easy to do when you're 3-1 up, or easier to do it, but it was a classy break.
Andy Robertson takes 2 large strides back to deliver the corner kick on this near side to right. Liverpool lead by 3-1. Left-footed by Robertson. Konate's up. Van Dijk tries to get on the end of it. McAllister has a volley. Peels for handball. Comes to the right-hand side of the area. Falls to Salah. He tees up Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold shapes to shoot. More handball penalties. Salah goes to ground. Ball scrambled away by Davis. There must have been about 3 penalty shouts there for Liverpool, and then at the end of that, the referee gives a free kick to Spurs for a foul on Tell.
Well, they had a look at each other, the referee's telling everyone to calm down. Now, the first one would have been a bit harsh because it smashed into the Tottenham defender there from no distance at all, and his arms were in. That's not a penalty kick. The Salah one, once again, I think that would be a bit soft in front of the cop. I'd be surprised if any of these are given. Let's have another look at it.
The one was McAllister, wasn't it? Struck the chest of Danso.
Yeah, maybe even the shoulder, but his arms are down by his side, so not a problem at all. And the other one for the free kick, which I'm absolutely convinced wasn't one as well. Udogie made no attempt to tackle.
There's been another goal in Lyon in that Women's Champions League semi-final. Victoria Polly.
It's Lyon 0, Arsenal 2 in injury time at the end of the first half. Arsenal scoring a beautiful curling effort from the edge of the area from Mariona Caldente means that they go ahead in this Champions League semi-final. It's Lyon 0, Arsenal 2, 3-2 on aggregate.
3-2 on aggregate with the right to meet Barcelona in the final. Arsenal's men will be hoping for success against French opposition in midweek. Commentary on Tuesday night from the Emirates. Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain. Danso steps forward. Danso shoots and right-footed. What was he? Less than 25 yards out. Dragged it off target. Goal kick. Still 3-1 Liverpool. We've been playing for now.
Yeah, and that's what Spurs have to do if they're going to get back into this game. Problem is, when you play under Range's style, you want your fullbacks to fly forward, Udogie and Spence. Now and again, fly forward, create some problems there. They've hardly over the halfway line, have they? They've not got any good positions. It's because they're playing against good players, and they've just not got good position to be able to do that. It's very, very hard to create that. Oh, bit of a mistake by Alisson.
Vicario under pressure from Diaz, almost let in the Colombian, and then hurriedly he had to clear it out of play for a throw, but they've taken the throw whilst there are 2 balls on the pitch. I think the initial one from Vicario bounced back off the advertising hoardings, and therefore there's a stoppage, and that throw will have to be retaken.
Bit of a shame that. That's exactly the right thing to do in that situation. Take it very, very quickly. Spurs weren't quite ready yet. They've got themselves set against, but once again, good control there from that midfield from Van Dijk. I'm just watching Van Dijk just now. I haven't mentioned today much. Do you think he's broken sweat yet? I doubt it.
Van Dijk, I think it says a great deal that he and Mo Salah have signed contracts. It's a sign that they believe that Liverpool will be able to challenge under Arne Slot for seasons to come, as Salah passes the ball, but Danso clears the ball away. They're going to be the 7th team in Premier League history to secure the title with 4 or more games remaining, and they are not letting up. They're still coming forward. Gakpo over on that left-hand side, and this is going to be Gravenberg, who's going to shoot, and Vicario makes the save low to his right. That might have been an awkward one. It might have taken a deflection on its way through. He saved it the second attempt.
Yeah, I mean, a decent shot. It's from real distance there, but it shows you the hunger for all those Liverpool players. When the keeper patted it out, only went a yard. 3 nearest players to them, all wearing red. Chasing it in Diaz, chasing it in Salah, chasing it in Gakpo, chasing it, anything that's going to come off. These are not players that are kind of cruising along here. These are players that want to absolutely put this to bed, and would also quite like a goal.
Alexander-Arnold tried the back heel towards Salah, stopped by Udogie. The quirk about Liverpool's last title success 5 years ago, when Manchester City lost to Chelsea, it was the 25th of June, Liverpool won the title, the earliest, with 7 games left, but it was also later than any other team in terms of the date. Because of COVID, it was pushed back to the summer. Talking of Manchester City, let's get an update from Wembley. John Southall.
They lead Nottingham Forest by 2 goals to nil. It's all City at the moment. Could have been 3. Savigno on the left of the area, pushed over the crossbar by Sells. They have a corner here now. As we said before, it looks a long way back for Forest. Will they make changes? Surely they'll have to. Forest 0, Man City 2.
Commentary on Sports Extra. Kulusevski forward for Spurs. Just as he tried to shoot, just taken away from him. And McAllister now to Szoboszlai. And there's a break on for Liverpool. Szoboszlai has got Diaz to his left. He's got Salah to his right. He goes with the Egyptian. Salah onto his left boot. Salah shoots.
The Egyptian king with the crowning moment for the new champions of England. And that is the 200th goal for Mo Salah off that trusty left foot. He ends his goal drought, and Liverpool now lead Spurs by 4 goals to 1.
Well, I said beforehand, the only surprising thing is that Mo Salah hasn't scored a goal yet. And if you could draw a picture of Mo Salah's goals, you'd draw that one, wouldn't you? He just gets the ball on the right-hand side, he cuts across the 18-yard line, and he can put it back post or near post, it doesn't really matter to him. On this occasion, near post, and he's gone down and done a little selfie. Right in front of the cop. Brilliant.
Well, he's just made one supporter's dream come true. Taking a mobile phone, taking a selfie in front of the cop. He now takes the acclaim. And Liverpool are coasting to this record equalling 20th top flight title.
I mean, look and hear them singing it in the right. There's not any doubt they're going to win the league. I mean, technically what happened in that goal, if it's of any interest at all, Spence finally went forward on the right-hand side because Kulusevski dragged him forward. And by doing that, he's taking any control that they have of that defensive situation. When there's a weakness at all and there's a gap at all, Liverpool make good use of it.
Kulusevski at the other end, meanwhile. Liverpool lead by 4 goals to 1. 64 minutes played. BBC Radio 5 Live in the World Service. Gravenberg can't control the ball. Sarr shoots. Alisson makes the save. Back to Wembley, John Southall.
It's still Forest 0, Manchester City 2, but what a goal this would have been. Morgan Gibbs-White on the right of the area, 14 yards out, on his left foot, on the volley, crashed against the bar. Forest 0, Man City 2.
Commentary on Sports Extra. Odegaard's going to be coming on for Tell. Richarlison is also going to be coming on. I think it was written in the stars that Mo Salah, with his 12th league goal against Tottenham Hotspur, would end his goal drought here today. 1 goal in 9. Wilson, Odegaard and Richarlison waiting to come on. Solanke and Tell will be the 2 players that will make way.
It's just a shame that Spurs could break a little, have a half a chance there. But there's not, enough understanding between the players and Tell in that time to stop his run. You can't stop your run there. The ball's in the middle. Sarr's on the ball. Keep on making the run. If it doesn't get delivered, it's not your problem. It's the deliverer's problem. But there's just not been enough understanding with those Spurs players so far in this game.
They've got substitutions. They'll have to dust themselves off. They did make the 8 changes going into that game against Bodo Glimt. You'd have to feel as well. Oh, ball given away. Gakpo's nipped in. Gakpo might fall towards Salah. Salah takes over, feeds it towards Szoboszlai, beaten out by Vicario. Spurs have got to be so careful. They do not want to be into that game on the back of the hiding.
Yeah, and they can smell it now, can't they, Liverpool? They absolutely can smell it. They're falling apart a little bit at the back. They're getting caught out. They're getting caught in the ball in the midfield just now. It's 4. They need to calm it down a little bit. Hold the ball if they can. They've just not been able to do that at any point in the second half.
Salah trying to dance his way through to the penalty area. There's a real strong smell of sulphur in our commentary position on this day of celebration for Liverpool. 4-1 they lead. Van Dijk, urged to shoot, obliges, fires it wide, good 30 yards out, right-footed off target, goal kick, Liverpool 4-1.
Yeah, if Van Dijk shooting from there is actually oddly unusual. He should do it more, because in his earlier career he scored some brilliant goals from there. A bit of a boo here actually as Solanke goes off and Richarlison comes on. I think it may be Richarlison coming on is a problem as opposed to Solanke coming off.
As a former Evertonian, he was never going to be awarded a warm welcome.
It is that. It's the whole thing.
His 4 goals, incidentally, against Liverpool have all come at Anfield. Liverpool are going to make changes as well. 20 is the magic number as far as Liverpool are concerned today. And Jota, sporting the number 20, is one of the players coming on. Szoboszlai comes off. Curtis Jones is another one who is going to be coming on. We'll wait to see who goes off. It is going to be Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo who turns to take the plaudits from the crowd.
Yeah, he's played well and a great reception he's got. Anyone who comes off just now will get a fabulous reception. And there's also a part of you that you want to be on at the end when it happens, when the whistle blows, when you become champions. But there's a lot of players in that squad that deserve to be on that field just now. And certainly I don't think you could argue against Jota being on there, and indeed Elliott.
Well, there are 40 medals that are handed out by the Premier League. Currently Liverpool have had 21 players who have played at least 5 appearances in the Premier League to qualify to be guaranteed a medal. Chiesa has only played 4 times in the Premier League. I wonder if we might see a sentimental touch from Arne Slot for Chiesa to come on to be guaranteed a medal. The thing is, it is at the club's discretion to hand out those other medals. I'm sure he'll get one anyway. Alexander-Arnold falls towards Jota. Breaks back towards Alexander-Arnold, prompted goalwards, and on the goal line, it's Mo Salah. Liverpool are wrapping up a record-equaling 20th title in style. They now lead Spurs by 5 goals to 1.
Well, they're just sitting there hoping that it's offside. There's a possibility it might be. But it's almost apologetic the way Mo Salah, he's got a big grin on his face. Just now, it was so easy for him. I said a few moments ago at the 4th one, you asked at half-time, you didn't want it to fall apart. It looks really messy, really messy at this period of the game. And each time they go through, there's an ugly line at the back there that doesn't look good. And I'm looking at that there, it's very tight for offside, very tight. I couldn't tell you from the angle that we have seen it at. I've just seen another angle and I still can't tell you.
Might be the right leg of Danso that he's just playing Mo Salah on.
Yeah.
And in fact, before he got there, it came off Udogi. Fireworks are being let off in the distance.
You've got to check that though. You've got to check that one. It is so tight. And if Salah didn't get a touch on it, you know, do you still say it's offside? Because the only reason why he defended it that way is because Salah would have tapped it in had he not done so.
Udogi credited with the own goal if the goal stands at 5-1. I honestly don't think the Liverpool supporters will care. Such has been the carefree celebrations that they've been able to enjoy with the nature of the way that this game has gone. But the goal does stand.
I have
Liverpool do lead 5-1.
I have to say, I don't think Salah thought it was going to count, and he was the nearest person to that, and a number of others didn't think so. It was very, very tight. It's 5-1. I'll tell you one thing that hasn't been tight this game. They're absolutely cruising. They played brilliantly, but in the second half, they've tried to hold it together, Spurs, but this is now beginning to look quite ugly, particularly for the manager.
Well, Ange Postecoglou, we've got to say that I know what could still happen in Europe, but he's had 47 points from his last 42 league games. You say that your league form is the true barometer. To credit a lot of the Tottenham supporters, they have stayed in the away section away towards our left as Odobert comes forward. A rare chance for them to attack in this second half with 18 minutes remaining. But when you consider that their record Premier League defeat was at Newcastle in 1996 by a scoreline of 7-1, this could get messy with still 18 minutes remaining.
It could get messy, and it's partly what Liverpool want to do about it, but they're brought in players. They've brought in Curtis Jones just now, and he's come on, he's just dribbling about, enjoying himself. The quality has not dropped.
A deafening cry of champions inside Anfield. It'll be Liverpool's 70th major honour. 20 titles, 29 cups, 21 Super Cups, England's most successful club. Manchester United the closest to them with 68 after this title here today for Liverpool. And they're lapping it up. The Spence shoots from a long way out, must have been 35 yards out, well off target, goal kick. Back to Wembley, John Southall.
Forest 0, Manchester City 2, should be 2-1 now. Gvardiol gave the ball away. Morgan Gibbs-White ran the goalkeeper, tight angle. His shot came off the left-hand post, and if Forest lose this game, he will not forget that moment. What a chance it was. Forest 0, Manchester City 2.
Liverpool top scorers in the Premier League, taking their tally to 80, and they've scored at least 2 goals in 29 of their 34 Premier League games as they win the ball midway through their own half. And Jones now can run forward in the all-red of Liverpool. And then was barged over, and the referee will give a free kick to the home side just outside the centre circle, Pat Nevin.
Yeah, but they seem so lively. Even at this part of the game, they're desperate. When Spurs try and go forward a little bit, they're living for that moment when they win ball back again. And every red shirt seems to fly forward, apart from Van Dijk and Konate. Everyone wants to get in the act today. I actually think every single one of those Liverpool players out there thinks they can score a goal today. They can tie the end of the season up for themselves with a goal and enjoy these celebrations even more.
Here is Konate. There's going to be 2 more players who are going to be coming on. Wataru Endo and Harvey Elliott. It'll be Luis Diaz and Trent Alexander-Arnold, who are the players who will make way with some 16 minutes remaining of normal time. It was Alexander-Arnold's goal, of course.
Makes you wonder, but he's loving it, he's enjoying it, he's reacting.
Sale 7 meses.
Tocar con me.